Hey, well, let's go into the news. The news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage Company, where they know mortgages. They've known mortgages for 30 years, and they help you with all of the mortgages. Doesn't matter what kind, whether you're FHA, VA, or conventional, but Holly and her team really take the time to get to know their clients, coach them, guide them, try to find the best solution for them as they get that mortgage for refis or buying a new house. Either way, they take really good care of you. And you can find them online at eaglemortgagecompany.com or in person at 114th and Davenport. All right, first up on the news, CoStar always gives us some national real estate news. And when it comes to national real estate news this week, there was a big bomb that dropped, and that is CVS is going to close 900 stores nationwide.
And that's over the next 3 years, about 300 stores per year. But that 900 stores is a big chunk. I don't know how many stores they have, but obviously that's a big chunk. And it's an interesting difference between Walgreens and CVS. And I was looking for something yesterday, so I went to both of those stores on Center Street there and 132nd. And it's interesting how the CVS is, you can pretty much see everything in the store. The shelves are lower. It seems more sparse. And then Walgreens is just a different model.
I find it interesting because these 900 stores represent about 10% of its total inventory of stores. And this is a period of time where, just on the face of things, I wouldn't predict that drugstores were having trouble because, people have had so much cash put in their pockets over the last couple of years. With all of the stimulus stuff, and people have such healthcare needs, and there's a lot of consumerism going on. So I don't know, that one kind of raised my eyebrow.
Well, Walgreens is we haven't seen them here, but Walgreens is experimenting with more. I think it's more of 2,500 square foot or a much smaller footprint. Those are about 14 or 15,000 square feet, and then imagine just almost kind of like the USAE pharmacy that you see around Omaha, where it's a drive-through standalone building. That doesn't have all the other convenience items.
I would like to see Walgreens put some of those 2,500 square foot express stores in urban parts of Omaha. Like, how nice would it be to have an urban Walgreens right in downtown? I suppose there is one at 30th by Midtown Crossing, but a little further east in the heart of downtown.
Yeah, I sold that one, a real estate play for an investor.
But it stayed Walgreens.
Absolutely.
Well, Heartwood Preserve, the big multi-billion-dollar development west of Boys Town, has closed on the sale of 14 acres to Broadmoor Development Company. So that means this 500-acre mixed-use development has surpassed 70% sales mark for available property. So Applied Underwriters has been the company that is developing it, and they have sold out about 70% of the land there. Now, of course, far, far more than that remains to be developed, but it's making progress.
Yeah, Broadmoor's a great apartment developer, and they also develop some commercial properties, and those will be high-end apartments, and that land doesn't come cheap over there, but it'll be a great mix in that 500-acre plus development. Omaha
Performing Arts and Kiewit Building Group held a topping out ceremony this week for Steel House Omaha. That's, of course, the new $103 million live music venue that's going up on a previously undeveloped downtown parking lot. 11th, 12th, Dodge, and Capitol Avenue are the streets that border it. Topping out, of course, occurs when workers install the final piece of structural steel. To me, once they got started on that site, it seems like the steel went up awfully fast.
Yeah, they really worked hard, and that's such a great compliment to the Riverfront Park and even to the Holland Center. This will be a 2,500 to 3,000 person attendee venue with movable chairs and that kind of stuff. So real flexible.
I can't get over what it probably means to the Capitol District, because when you drive Capitol Avenue right now, you just notice that it's just, well, of course, it's right across the street from the Capitol District, but it's just right there. And you think about all the events that will likely take place at Steel House Omaha. If you were, the owner of Capitol District or doing leasing there, you'd have to be pretty excited about that.
Well, I think they're getting, it's taken a while, but I think they've got some big restaurant announcements coming up. One high-end restaurant and one more sports-related type entertainment and restaurant venue that I promised I wouldn't break. So you got to listen here until we get the green light to talk about it.
So basically what he's saying is restaurants coming to Capital District can't say their name yet, and so you should hold tight and stay tuned.
Long time coming, but it's coming.
Okay. You know, folks, there are a lot of things that we wish we could announce, but we can't because for some strange reason, people trust us. And I mean, I can't tell how many times people have said, hey, Jeff, I'll tell you this. You can't say it yet. Just keep it under your hat. You're like, you do realize we're media guys, right? But so far we've honored that.
Well, we've always teased out at the outlet mall when new things are coming. And then we said that there was a couple big ones coming, but
They still are.
did you notice that one of them, though, has signs up?
Oh, really?
We said we can't talk about it yet, T?
Uh-huh. I might have to go out there and take a look before we do our live remote. So there's signs up for the one that we can't say yet?
There's signs up in the windows that say Yeti all over them.
Okay. But we can't say Yeti yet
Okay.
at Nebraska Crossing. So
Sorry, Rod.
that may or may not be one of the national retailers that's coming to Nebraska. Does it say coming soon, or is it just like, say, Yeti in the window?
It has a bunch of Yetis, so I assume it's Yeti's coming there, but we'll let Rod confirm that next week.
Well, maybe you just heard one of them that we weren't supposed to say for a long time, but we shall see. The big one that's way bigger than Yeti, though, we will still keep under our hat until we have true permission to announce that retailer. Fair?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's continue on with this week's news. World Herald had a nice feature talking about the inside of the new LinkedIn regional headquarters in the Sterling Ridge development southeast of 132nd and Pacific Street. And the article said that LinkedIn's Omaha workforce has grown from 602 years ago to 1,000 today and could grow to 1,200 within a year. Omaha is now LinkedIn's fourth largest concentration of employment in North America. Of course, it's a Silicon Valley-based company. I believe it's part of Microsoft. The two buildings are 5 stories each and feature many of the employee perks common to Silicon Valley office buildings. Trenton, Deb Grave Morrison, who is our president at NAI NP Dodge, she and several other members of Commercial Real Estate Women took a tour of that building a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm jealous. That 200,000 square feet on 5 stories, 2 buildings with a crosswalk. The amenities in there are just huge. They've got chefs. They've got
She said there were
resting areas.
Yeah, like you could take a nap. There, like an exercise room. There was. She said that if you leave your water glass, there's someone like she didn't use this word, but someone like a busboy who will come pick it up for you or something like that. I mean, if you're working for LinkedIn, there's no reason to work from home when you've got those kind of amenities.
And they call them neighborhoods. Like nobody has assigned offices, and you have computer terminals and things that you go work where you want to work in collaborative space and things like that. It's definitely a new way of doing things.
The outside of the building is also very attractive.
Well, then a certain amount, I think it's 13%. I forget what the percentage is, but in the parking lot you see these. They look like they're covering cars or something like that, but it's solar panels help powering the building.
Well, they probably also cover the cars, so maybe there's a dual purpose there, provide shade for the cars. At any rate, speaking of really cool Omaha offices, we had a feature in this week's newsletter. We provided a link to a video tour of Sojourn's offices near 120th and Dodge. Sojourn is a San Francisco travel marketing company that was started in Omaha and probably has half of its employees in Omaha. And they opened their Omaha office, a couple of years ago maybe? Something like that?
Their new office. They've been here a long time.
Yeah, but the new one they're in right now.
Right.
Maybe 2 years or less,
They used
probably.
to be out on Pacific Street, and they moved up to West Dodge Hills.
So if you want to see that, it's just like a minute or two. There's a link to it in our newsletter, which came out just this past Thursday. So if you want to see that, just go to growomaha.com, click the market report, look at the most recent newsletter, and scroll down a ways, and you can get that video tour of Sojourn. And while you're there, if you're not already part of it, sign up for that newsletter because it comes out every Thursday. We're up to almost 10,000 subscribers now. Since we launched in April, we've added about 4,000 new subscribers. People have signed up like crazy.
Yeah, thanks for opting in, everybody. I think it's really taken on a life of its own.
And then Orbit, Omaha Rapid Bus Transit, might be expanding. We've talked about in the past that they were looking at the 24th Street corridor. Well, we just found out this week that Metro Transit received a $1.6 million federal grant to study the 24th Street route that would stretch from Q Street in South Omaha all the way up to Ames Avenue in North Omaha. So the study will show us whether this is viable or not. But Trenton, I'll tell you what, even if it is like not all that viable, the pro-development real estate guy in me hopes it happens.
It's a natural progression of Orbit.
I mean, because you look at what Orbit has already done for West Dodge Expressway and regular Dodge Street construction. It's crazy. All these projects are popping up in part because of Orbit. And of course, it doesn't also hurt that Dodge Street's the main corridor and all that. But let's just think about the collateral development that would happen along 24th Street if this thing happens.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the ridership as it grows.
Have you seen that old commercial Federal building by the Med Center coming down? That thing is
iconic.
Yeah, it was iconic, but it is no more.
You used to stare out at it every day.
I know. For 7 years in the 90s, I worked at Clarkson College at 42nd and Dodge, and every time I'd be walking to my office, going down the hallway, I would stare right out at the clock tower, and I could see the time and the temperature. Sometimes it was good news, sometimes it was bad news, depending on what time of year it was, but the temperature was always
That's the
there.
end of an era for that building to come down.
And that, my friends, is your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, EagleMortgageCompany.com. They know mortgages.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.